So, hey guys, as I said, as I promised, we have a really amazing guest. Theo, he is a great artist. As you were hearing, he also knows how to program. He works at Ubisoft. He is one of the best persons I've ever met. So, here to talk to you about how to land a good gig once you finish university. Go ahead and start asking him questions.
Thanks a
Hey
lot
Theo,
for.
good afternoon.
Hello, Arad. Good afternoon.
Well, the first question is, where did you study your career?
Where did I study my career? I studied my career at Guadalajara, at the Tecnológico de Monterrey. I was second generation for animation and digital art, actually. I was the second generation, but I was at the beginning of the career when they started to launch it at a national level between Monterrey, Ciudad de Mexico, and Guadalajara. I'm second G. I started in 2007 and graduated in 2012, December, when the world was supposed to end. And after that, I started to look into more to develop into developing more my skills. And I went to Vancouver Film School for the game design on the game design program from 2014 to 2015. So that's basically my education. I have a bachelor degree from the Tecnológico de Monterrey, and I have a video game designer certificate from Vancouver Film School.
Okay, that sounds so cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Edson?
Sí, perdón, se me fue. A ver, what did it take to get where you are now?
What did it take to get me where I am now?
Yes.
Well, it's the hero's journey. That's basically what I try, what it feels like, because everything started when I was a little kid. I always liked drawings. I always loved video games. I always loved TV. My dad works at TV. He's a comedian in Mexico, and I watch him most of the time on TV instead of at home because he worked all the time. So TV was a really good part of my life and a really good source of entertainment. So when I started to draw stuff like small comics or fan art from the cartoon shows that I loved, for example, the Disney shows or anime shows like Dragon Ball or Pokemon or Magic Knights or Knights of Zodiac. I always loved those shows, so I started to draw myself. Then I got drawing lessons, and actually in the beginning I wanted to be an international uh, how do I don't know how to say the career in English, but it's international businesses. I wanted to be an international businessman, and I was at the point on I was almost going to start my career of international businesses. And then next to the queue, to the line where you will sign up to the career, LAD, the animation and digital art bachelor's degree at the Tec de Monterrey, made a booth, and I was like, "What's this?" Basically, they told me you can make cartoons and explosions, and that sold me. so so I got to be there. I started to do concept art for characters using mostly pencil and graphite because I didn't know a lot of digital stuff at the moment. I knew how to do simple edits, to make some highlights, to vectorize an image, to scan and clean a line art, but mostly was that. Then after that, I took the to the animation, and I was at that point. Right now, I'm really bad, but at that point, I was really good at rough animation. So I started to do rough animation for some projects like TV spots, TV commercials, TV intros, some spots for the school, some spots for student groups. And after that, I went in love with music. So also I applied to Berkeley College of Music at the same time. The art has been a great part of my life, actually. So Berkeley didn't accept me quick enough because they did accept me. But 1 year after I applied, at the point I was almost finishing second semester, I was going to start third semester in the tech. And I was like, okay, I need to finish something first and then start the other one. And if I want to become a musician, when I finish animation, I will become a musician. It turns out I wanted to become a game developer because when I was taking my 3D classes, one of the best professors I've ever had, actually, he teach me everything I know right now. He told me, you are really good at what you do. Why don't you try doing 3D stuff? And then I started to do 3D stuff, environment art, weapons, character design, retopology, sculpting. And he told me, hey, you're really good at it. Why don't you try game engines? And then I tried Shiva, Unity, and UDK. UDK is now known as Unreal Engine 4, which is the fourth installment of the engine. And then I started to develop particle effects and shaders. That was what I was known for at school, because I did a little bit of everything, but mostly the weird stuff that nobody wanted to do. UVs, shading, materials, particle effects, physics, rendering, lighting and shading. Everyone wanted to do character art or character sculpting or 3D modeling, but nobody wanted to do technical stuff, just art. So that I started to do that myself. And after that, I was looking for jobs while I was studying, actually, and I got some internships with Caxan. I was part of the El Videojuego del Chavo del Ocho for the Nintendo Wii. It's a video game that was released in 2011, I think, 2011, 2010, I don't remember. It was for the Wii. And it's like a Mario Party with Mexican themes and the Chavo del Ocho, the show from the cartoon show, not the live action show. And I also got a gig for Exodo Animation Studios in Guadalajara, which I made a ton of commercials for Plaza del Sol, which is the first mall center and shopping center of Mexico. And it's still there. It's not as good or as big as it used to, but it was the first one in Mexico. I also made some shots for Cloralex, for Rufles, for Best Day, for Cinemex, and Sea Society. We did some shots for a Disney show, and for Bolo, the mascot, the Christmas mascot of Liverpool, the little teddy bear that runs around the world looking for Santa Claus and whatnot. And after that, I went to BFS to become a game designer. And there I met a lot of cool people from all the ages and from all projects, people from Sega, people from Ubisoft, people from Electronic Arts, Naughty Dog, Next Level, Nintendo, BioWare. And I kept in contact with them to look for feedback, mostly feedback, because being a Mexican in a foreign country, it's not as easy as it would seem. And basically what they want for you as an international worker is to demonstrate that you have a lot of skills and a skill level that nobody else in the country has. So it's really hard for them, because the rules are, first, you need to look everywhere in the country, being United States, Canada, Spain, UK, anywhere. You need to first look for your own people. And if you can't find anybody, then you ask for international people. But at the same time, you're competing with all the other countries in the world. So it's a little bit hard, but not impossible. And I got my shot at Pixelatl. It's one of the biggest festivals and congresses for animation and digital art in Mexico. That one was in Cuernavaca, I believe. And I went there. I went on the second installment in 2018. The first one was in 2017, so I went to the second one. And at the beginning, I thought, this is 2D. It doesn't matter to me. I'm 3D, and I do programming stuff and whatnot. And one of my friends that was working in CineSite, it's a cinematic studio in Vancouver. They made the Sausage Party, and they made a ton of shots for the Watchmen HBO show, and Godzilla versus Kong, and Godzilla King of Monsters, and a lot of really cool stuff. He told me a lot of Montreal, Quebec studios are going to be there. You should be there. And I went there and I got interviews with Real Effects, with Binox, with Cinesight, Double Negative, Ubisoft, Squeeze, and another studio that I can't remember. But mostly the studios work for big IPs like Godzilla, Halo, Trolls, DreamWorks, Disney, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and it was really cool. So I got an interview with each one of them, and first you needed to upload your CV to a database where they could review your CV, and if you were worthy of reviewing, then you will get a ticket, and then you will exchange the ticket for a place, and then you will get the opportunity to have an interview with each of the studios. But Ubisoft asked me directly to come at a given date and at a given time, and I was the only Mexican that got a job from those interviews in Pixelatl at the time, but mostly because a lot of the interested people were fresh graduates. They were freshmen. They were like fresh out of high school. So what they want is experience. They want to know that you've been working on a lot of stuff. They want to know that you've been keeping on doing stuff for a given number of years. And I've been doing that with all my education, and I did projects when I was in college. I did projects when I finished college. I was looking for opportunities, even though they weren't as flamboyant. For example, I made the fur of the sheep for a TV commercial that doesn't want to get shaved by a shaver, to look for hotels around the world for best day, and that was it. And it just builds up all the experience, all the previous experience that you got, and all the things that you want to do and where you want to aim. So when Ubisoft found out that I was really good at procedural, mostly shaders and materials, they asked me, hey, if you can do with textures and shaders, what can you do with meshes and instancing 3D assets? And they were like, it should be the same, but instead of textures on bitmaps, I'm using meshes. And they were like, yeah, mostly like that. And that's how I got my job. So basically, when I can tell you from the beginning, it's keep doing stuff. Like always keep doing stuff, always keep updating yourself. At the time, I knew how to use Shiva, UDK, and Softimage. And nowadays, none of those software exists anymore. So I had to move to Maya, Unreal Engine 4, Unity. Modbox was really good at the time. Right now, nobody uses Modbox anymore. So ZBrush is a staple for sculpting and 3D and generating 3D complex shapes. And for texturing, it's Marie for VFX and Substance for video games. So you need to keep on studying, you need to keep on researching, and you need to keep on developing your skills every single day of your life until you get the gig that you really want. And after that, you need to keep on developing yourself, but inside the company. That's why I'm starting to learn C language, because I didn't know how to do C language, but now I know a little bit, but I know. Sorry for the long answer. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome. Who's next?
So next would be Monty. And it's related to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Theo, nice to meet you. I'm so excited for this because it's my dream and work in Ubisoft as an artist. So it's so exciting this. And my question is, how were your job interviews for the Ubisoft company?
Okay, the question was, how were my interviews for the Ubisoft company? Okay, first of all, I applied through the Quebec government webpage, and I uploaded my CV. When my CV was uploaded and approved, I got a direct request from Ubisoft. So that's really good, because if you get a direct request without asking for it, that means they want you.
Okay.
That's it. After that, you get to do what they call filters. So the first filter is to get to know the HR, the human resources person that's going to ask you some basic questions. So the basic questions are like, how are you? Where are you from? What do you expect? And what can you show me? Most of the HR people are HR people, human resources. They know about ethics, they know about contracts, they know about um, how to manage people inside a company, but they don't know anything about art, or they don't know anything about code, because that's not their expertise. They just want to know people. So the first filter is be a really nice person to talk to. So you show them your portfolio, you show them your demo reel, and well, they are looking at it. Basically, they're looking at it by looking at you. So they look for facial expression, they look for so how good are you at communicating? So a little bit of acting, it's really good. So when you pass the first filter, the HR person will say, hey, this guy is really cool, and he showed me really cool stuff, and he talked about some technical stuff that I couldn't understand, but I know you would. And they pass your name and file to a person that actually knows their stuff. So the bluff is done, but now you get to be technical about how you solve and how you solve problems, and how good are you at solving problems. Being a Mexican, I applied a lot of mexicanadas to solve a lot of problems that I got when on a lot of my jobs. And they were like, how did you solve this thing? And I was like, okay, I solved this thing by thinking out the box and doing this stuff. And when they realize that, when you realize that nobody thinks like a Mexican, you are in. Like, if you're really good at
Oh,
problem solving, applying mexicanadas to 3D stuff, it's really good, because it may not be the pipeline, it may not be the correct thing to do, but man, it works.
It works and it's a shortcut, so good enough.
If, if
so
it,
Ubisoft evaluate first as you as a person,
Mhm.
next the portfolio, etc.
Exactly. And then next, the portfolio. Even though you need to apply with everything at the same time, the first filter is, how are you as people? Are you a people person? Are you not? Are you good at integrating with anyone? Because right now, with the situation, which is everybody needs to be included, and everybody needs to be inclusive. You need to be really good at having people skills. You need to be good at everybody, with everybody. You need to be good with everyone, because here there's a lot of variety, from gender, from sexual presentation,
Yes.
from skin, from medical backgrounds, from ethnic backgrounds also. So you may find someone that is it's in a wheelchair, and then you may find someone that it's from the Native Americans, well, the Native American continent, not only Native Americans. You may find someone that it's from China. You may find me that I'm from Mexico, but I don't look Mexican. So how do you treat me? So that's you need to be really inclusive with that, and you need to really be open-minded. And basically, every studio everywhere will ask you this final question at the end of every interview. It's like, okay, I really like you, and we had a really cool interview, but let me ask you one last question. And they look you in the eye and say, are you a douchebag? Because we don't like douchebags. And you need to say, no, of course I'm not a douchebag. I really like to be with people, and to be with anybody, and I will be part of any team, and I will be like a key part of any team that you would put me into. And they felt like really comfortable with me. And after I got my technical review, which I talked more about my work, how I use my skills to solve problems. And after that, I got a third review in which they ask you, how do you, basically the question goes down to, how do you look yourself from here 5 years or 10 years in the future? They want to know your expectations about money. They want to know your expectations about living. They want to know your expectations about as a person. because they want committed people, because you have no idea how many people I've seen come and go since I've been here, and it's only been 2 years.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of people come and go. It's crazy. But basically, those are the 3 interviews: the first one and the second one, and the most important ones. If you pass the first one and you pass the second one, the third one is just a formality, just to give you the contract and sign the papers.
Oh, okay. So interesting to see, to know it. Thank you so much, Theo.
You're welcome. Who's next?
Santi Martinez.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, Santi. Nice. It's a little bit cold here, but it's nice. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and my question is, what do you think they saw in you?
Okay, the question was, what do I think they saw in me? One of the things a friend of mine told me is like, always sell yourself as the best one. It's like, échale crema a tus tacos, but don't tell lies. Like, say you are the best for the position, you are the greatest for the job, you are the best at solving stuff, and enlarge your skills, but never say a lie. So what they saw in me, they saw in me was a confident person that has people skills, that can solve any problems that they may encounter for any task. And if I don't know the answer at the moment, I will take my own time to develop the skill that I may be lacking at the moment, or to understand the problem that is in front of me, or to research and develop the information that I need to solve said skill. So what I think they saw in me is that they saw someone that is tenacious, someone that is always looking for answers, and that is approachable. Because even though I may look outgoing, I'm really shy, but I try to break that shyness and try to start conversations, or start to intermingle with other people and try to make connections, even though we're not from the same department, or maybe we're not in the same building, or maybe we're not in the same region. Even I try to talk to people with the studio in Belgium, or studio in France, or studio in Montreal, or even inside the studio. I try to interconnect with people, and that gives you the assets to ask, or that gives you the assets to answer questions that may have not been answered or asked before. So it's really cool, because I was like 5 months old in the company. I've been 5 months since I arrived, and even though there were 5 or 6 months in before the pandemic, I would get requests from people that were there like for years before me. And, hey, Theo, I heard that you know how to do this stuff. Can you help me? And I was, of course, I can help you. And I would go to her desktop, or share my screen, or try to make a video call and help them with the problems and with the issues. And that's because I'm open. I always try to be open. And if somebody asks me something, I will always say yes most of the time. And if I don't know, I will say I don't know, but let me dig in, and I'll return to you with an answer. And that's what they saw in me: someone that is reliable, and someone that is really good at communicating. And that's what I try to show almost all the time.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Santi. Who's next?
Me, Christoph.
Hi, Christoph.
Hi, Theo. Okay, my question is, what skills do I need to get a job like yours?
Okay, right now I am a procedural technical artist. Mostly the procedural stuff, it's giving up the information that you may need. But for me, my skills have a really good balance between art and programming, and knowing how to blend them together. Basically, I started my programming career with Java. It wasn't that good actually. Then I started to learn Python, and that was a little bit better. And then when I started to do game development, I started a little bit of JavaScript and mostly C Sharp, because I found out that C Sharp was, even though it's considered more complete than C Sharp, than Python and Java, because they are low high level languages, not because they require high level skills, but they are so simple. Like, for example, for Python, you just say print hello world and you get a hello world. And for C Sharp, you need to load the library, you need to make a void or a statement, then you create a string, and then you say, hey, hello world, and you get an output, and you print the output, and then it's a little bit more complicated. But even though it's a little, you need to write more stuff, it's more logic, and you get to know the structure, and you get to build your own logic using the language. So when I started to see the art in code, and I started to see the logic in art, that's when I decided when I wanted to become a technical artist. So for my position, you need to know how to create procedural stuff, how to implement set procedural stuff, and how to make sure that set procedural stuff is compatible and it's optimized for the game that you are developing. And my expertise comes from doing textures and shaders and materials. So basically it's graphic language, but now I applied set knowledge to meshes and 3D assets to create environments. I do mostly environments right now, natural environments, not so much inside or buildings, but forest or landscapes or mountains or rivers. Most of the stuff I'm doing right now, it's fluid content and rivers, but it's really cool actually. So a lot of people think it's boring, but for me, it's really exciting.
Okay, thank you, Theo.
You're welcome, Christoph.
Okay, Anna.
Yes. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Anna.
Anna, and nice to meet you. Well, my question is, did your school grades help you?
Yes, they did. I wasn't one of the brightest ones with school grades. Basically, my average was 8.9, not even a 9. So, I mean, it was not that bad, but it's not excellence. I never got the excellence award at school, but it did help me because the studios are not looking for the best grades. They're looking for the best projects. But when you want to apply to a scholarship, or you want to apply to an international school, or you want to have a certificate that evaluates you as a professional, yes, that's when the grades come forth. And for example, when I went to Vancouver Film School, which was 2 years after I graduated, I had fresh grades. So I got my TOEFL, which was fresh, and I got my diploma, which was fresh, and I got my Cardex, or my grades, which were fresh. And because of that, I got a really, really, really cool discount. This is supposed to be secret, but I don't mind. I got a discount because of my grades, and then after that, I got a discount because of my portfolio. So for an international student, international school, it's really expensive. But if you get a scholarship for grades or a scholarship for portfolio, you pay almost the same as a local. Not, I still paid more, obviously, because I'm an international, but I got a really, really, really good deal. And because of that, my brother applied later, not for games, but for acting, for TV and films. And he got a scholarship because I got a scholarship previously, and because he did a really, really, really good casting with 2 scenes, one from the Silver Lining, I believe, and one from Pulp Fiction. So we try to, when you get good grades, it's not because you are immersed only in school, but always look for good grades because you are good at what you do. Like good grades are a matter, but mostly a personal matter. And if you get good grades, that means you did a good work, and then you get to be proud of said work. In 2013, I was really proud of my school projects. Right now, not so much, but it's been, I don't know, 11 years since that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next we have Orte. Santi Ortega, your turn.
Hi, Tio. My question is in short. So, do you really love your job?
The short answer for a short question is yes.
Okay.
The long answer is yes, I do. The question was, do I love my job? And the answer is yes, I do love my job. It's challenging, it's interesting, it's compelling, and it's lovely actually. It's not just because I really like to do games, and I am working on one of the biggest franchises of the modern video game era, but it's because they treat me amazing. We have something called, well, right now because of the pandemic, I'm not at the office. As you can see, this is my guest room at my apartment. But at Ubisoft, at the office, we got fresh fruit every day. We got a coffee shop. We got um, a wall of refrigerators when you can store food. We every Friday at 2 p.m. we get two refrigerators that are on the third floor. They are huge refrigerators with beer, wine, spirits, and you can work while you drink. I don't know how many beers you can, as much you can get. I mean, I'm not saying that I like to do drunken work, but my job gives me the opportunity to have all of that, and they trust me with all of that. Like I have all the fruit that I can get. I got all the coffee that I want. I get um, basically a lot of commodities, including internet and free spaces with hammocks and chairs and even swings where you can like kill time, or you can even get your own console and play games while you work, because you can be, sometimes you can be stressed on your, or sometimes you need an answer, or sometimes you need um, to follow up with something, or sometimes you need inspiration. And when you build games, inspiration sometimes comes from other games, and you get to play video games for work. So yeah, I love my job.
That sounds great. Gracias. Thanks, Tio.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Edu.
Hey, Dio, nice to meet you.
Hello, Edu.
My my question is, what do you like the most about your job?
So far, what I like the most is see my name on the credit screen. Like that was amazing. Because I mean, I've seen my name in some TV shows, and I've seen my name on some credits and whatnot, but seeing them on a AAA project that lasted a lot of time, and even though I arrived in the middle of production, and they gave me the opportunity to fix a ton of bugs. I fixed like a huge load of bugs, and I managed to help build that game. And not only that, because they saw my art skills also, and they gave me a whole region to do by myself. So one of the DLC regions for Immortal Phoenix Rising is mostly made by 4 people, and I was one of those 4 people. That's just simply amazing, having to say this whole region I made it by myself. So having a final product with your name on it and the name of your kid on it, because I have an 11-month-old baby, and he was made during production, and he was born during production, so his name is also on the credits. for the production babies, and it's really amazing to see my name on a really, really, really cool video game. If you haven't had the opportunity to play it, I think the demo is free for every console right now, so you should check it out and give it a try. Its name is Immortals Phoenix Rising. I think the name is somewhere here in the t-shirt. Ah, yeah, here it went. This is the Ubisoft name. Anyway, it's in Immortals Phoenix Rising. Have a try at it, and if you like it, I'm really glad. And if you don't, please don't tell anybody, so everybody can play it.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Well, we have another question, but the student didn't make it, so I'm gonna make the question.
Okay, sure.
Is your job rigorous?
Yes, it is. Of course, it is. I mean, we are dealing with millions of dollar project, and not only 1 million, but millions of dollars project. And because I'm in charge of the procedural part, if my part does not work, that means a whole region of the game is not going to work. And if it does not work, it won't ship. And if it doesn't ship, we don't get money. If we don't get money, you get the idea, right? So yeah, it's really rigorous, but you need to be really, really, really good at time management. And you don't get to be selfish. If you can't solve anything, you need to ask somebody, because right now at Ubisoft Quebec studio, we are like 580 people, almost 600. So between all those 600 people, there may be someone that could help you. If not, you get France, you get Ukraine, you get Belgium, you get Montreal, you get United States, you get, there's an office in Mexico. They don't make games. They're mostly for social networking and programming, but there's a Ubisoft in Mexico. There's a Ubisoft in Singapore. That's a Ubisoft in, I don't remember the other location, but somewhere in the world, there must be somebody that knows how to solve your stuff. And if you don't, you ask for time. And if you ask for time, you use that time to solve the problem. So yeah, it is rigorous, but they know you're a person, not a machine. So if you know how to spare time and you know how to use your time, you get all the time you need. It's that good. Like, it's incredible. But you have on your shoulders the weight of doing the correct job, because it's not only your work that it's on the line, it's everybody else's work. So that's why you need to be inclusive. That's why you need to be a people person. That's why you need to be really, really good human skills and speaking skills, because you may need somebody's help. You don't get to be selfish. That's the thing. So it is rigorous, yes, but also it is rewarding. It's rigorous and rewarding at the same time.
Thank you very much, Teo. Carla.
Yes. Hi, Tab. My question is, how do you describe the mental work you must have to work in a large company?
The question was, how do I describe the mental work in a...
You must have to work in a large company.
Okay. You actually need to change your mentality, because in Mexico, the biggest company I worked for was Caxan, and we were 30 person, and not everyone was there at the office when I was there. So basically I was working with 20 people, and that was it. And here I'm working with 600. So you need to respect hierarchies. You need to be involved in the chain. Like when I was working in Mexico, if I wanted to talk to my supervisor, or if I wanted to talk to the producer, I just like stand up from my desk, walk a few steps, and ask the producer, hey, I have this issue, or hey, I found a solution, or hey, I need something from the web, or something like, or anything, a request. And they told me, oh yes, of course. And the contact was direct. And here in the studio, it's like, I have a supervisor, and if I need anything, I need to ask my supervisor for permission. And I said, hey, my supervisor's name is Pierre-Luc, and hey, Pierre-Luc, I need to do something. And he's like, okay, I know the guy. And he sends me the link of the guy, and I need to contact the guy and wait for the response. And after that, he will tell me, hey, I can help you with this thing, or no, I cannot help you with this thing, but this person can do. And then you start to build up a chain of requests to make sure that you can finish your stuff. So that's what I said. You don't get to be selfish, or you don't get to be the one-man army that every company in Mexico expects you to be. You need to be part of a chain. You need to be one brick in the wall. You need to be one person in the community. So you need to know how to ask for help and who to ask for help, so he can put you in the right position, instead of just going there and trying to expect to be helped because you went there, because you're not going to, because you don't know the people that is going to be there. Like you get the welcome party, and you get to see the CEO, the CTO, the producers, and the leads, and that's it. But you get to only know like 10 people in that meeting, but they're not the 10 people only. There are like a ton of people, and it's people that sits in the office, people that is doing home office, or people that it's on Montreal, or people that it's in France. Sometimes you need to schedule your calls, because here, for example, it's 3:48. There in Mexico is 2:48, and in Belgium it's in the morning. So sometimes people may be asleep. So you need to think that you are part of something bigger, but still you are a really, really, really important part of that huge behemoth, which is a AAA game studio as big as Ubisoft. And you need to know, if you fall from the whole piece, all the thing crumbles. So you need to do a good job, and you need to be really good at what you do, but always remember that you're part of a huge machine. So that's what you need to change. You need to change the thing that I don't need to do all of the stuff. I only need to do what I need to do. And if I find something else that it's not in my set, I need to ask the producer, hey, I found this thing. It's not inside my box. Who do I call? And he's who you gonna call? Well, you need to call this person, and then you get the request and send it to that person, and mostly they will thank you, and sometimes they will say, I didn't know that was going to happen, and blah blah. But yeah, you need to change the mentality of, you don't need to do everything, but you depend on someone else to do everything. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent. Tara, next question.
Hi again.
Yeah.
Well, the next question is it difficult to keep up with new projects?
For me, it's been a really cool experience, because I've never been on most of the time it's like, you're in this project, and I'm like, yeah, and the project would last, I don't know, 8 months, 6 months, and then the company would break. And hey, the project was a success, but the company, it's on bankruptcy, so bye-bye, and they would flee, and I didn't get a job, and then need to look for another job. So adapting yourself to finish a job, wait the time, because there is something called interprojet or interproject, because here in Quebec they speak French. It's been a struggle, but in the interprojet you get to develop your skills. So I used from March to from March to July, which like 4 months, I started to develop my C skills, so coding skills inside Houdini, because I knew how to do nodes, I knew how to debug, I knew how to model, but I didn't know how to create my own custom node. So I spent a lot of time trying to fix one simple procedural stuff that got some instances, and I need to rearrange the instances automatically instead of by hand. So by one click, everything will fit instead of hand placing the stuff. So what I go to is like, between every project and between everything, you need to keep developing your skills so you can be more useful to the company, and then you can increase your portfolio and your CV and yourself. And that's really interesting because I've never seen something like that in Mexico. It's like you get something and you don't know how to do, and you need to research and develop while you make it, while you ship it. And here is really different.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's me again. How does it feel to work for a big company?
It feels amazing. Really, it does. It's just getting your tag and open a gate, and then you go inside and see a lot of amazing people working and developing stuff, and then you get to sit on your computer and develop really cool stuff, and you test it with a game controller, and you have this really amazing computer. And right now I'm at the office with my laptop and my wireless mouse, but I remember the good times, and it's stoking. It's really cool. Like, it's amazing. It feels like going to Disneyland every time, at least for me.
Thank you.
Monty?
Okay. It's my turn again. How was your first day at Ubisoft?
My first day was really cool because I got there. I got a backpack with water bottle, a coffee mug, an umbrella, a t-shirt, and a beanie, because here snows a lot. Like, you get a huge amount of snow. And then I got the tour of the studio. I got to meet my team. And before everything started, it was like, after all the introductions and getting to meet the people, they were like, okay, here's your computer, install the software, and after that we will give you the subject that you will need to do after you get all set. So basically, my first day was a tour from studio, a gift basket, and installing software, and that was it. That was my first day.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Theo, again.
Okay, Joseph?
Hello, Theo.
Hi.
What was your mindset on the first day working with Ubisoft?
I'm going to kill it. That was my mindset. Like, bring it on. You bring anything to me, I'm going to crush it. And yeah, that was it. I didn't get to do a lot of stuff until week 2, because they gave me 4 weeks to finish a Houdini course, to learn how to use Houdini and the tools that they use at the company. They told me usually people take 5 weeks to finish this, so you have 5 weeks. I finished it in 2. And I was like ready for action. And one of the guys from the technical art department, his name is Marc Brassard, he told me, hey, you want to do rivers and stuff? And I told him, yes, I'm ready. Yeah, cool, because nobody wants to do that. It's boring. And I was like, I don't mind. I like boring stuff.
Thank you, Theo.
Hello, me again. Hi.
Hello.
What is the work environment like at Ubisoft?
It is really cool, actually. The work environment is really professional. Like, that's the word I would say. Professional and relaxed. And even though those words may become, or may be seen as contraries, or not this, won't work on the same environment, they do. Actually, it's relaxed and professional, because we joke a little bit, we talk with anybody. If someone is having a rough time, we get to talk with each other, and we get to comfort each other and be sure that everyone is good, because if everyone is in good health, also the project is going to be in good health. So really professional and comforting and relaxing. Yeah.
Thanks.
Theo, how would you describe your experience at Ubisoft?
So far, amazing. Because the studio really takes care of their people and really takes care of their workers. Like, for example, the time I arrived, I didn't have an apartment. So Ubisoft got me like an Airbnb. It wasn't an Airbnb, but it was a home that the studio rented for me. So I had 1 month to look for my own apartment. And the owner was old creepy guy. That's a little. I'm going to try to say it without big words, but he was a little bit racist and changed a little bit for racist. He was really
Not
rude.
nice.
Yeah, he was really rude with me and my wife. But then the studio stepped in, and it was amazing because I never felt so loved in my life. work wise speaking. And so yeah, so far for me the experience at Ubisoft, it's been amazing. I think it's a short word for what it's been.
Oh, awesome. Thanks.
Fabian.
Hi, Theo. How is your first experience working as a team?
I lost a little bit of communication. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, sorry. How is your first experience working as a team?
How was my first experience working as a team? Okay, my
Yes.
first experience was they had a huge bug in which the water was broken everywhere. Like, for example, you would get a river, but then the river would break and no connection in between, and then it will continue. Or sometimes the river would go upwards, which is impossible because that's not how water flow works. And they were looking for solutions, they were looking for problems and stuff like that. And my first team experience was like, where can we pinpoint the problem and how do we solve it? So we spent a whole week looking at scenes, looking at gameplay, and looking at Houdini trees to try to find the bug. We did find it, and I did manage to fix a lot of scenes and a lot of regions. Yeah, that was my first experience. It was really good. It was I felt integrated with the team, even though that was my first week, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Richard.
Hi, nice to meet you. My question is teamwork important?
Is my work important? Yes.
Teamwork.
Teamwork, yes, of course. Obviously, teamwork, it's really important. You need to know you are part of a team, and you need to be respectful of the team.
Okay.
So I think we're going to jump ahead a whole bunch of questions because it's taking a little bit longer than expected. So guys, we're going down to the recommendation questions. And this one, I'm going to be leading it. Basically, what can you recommend people who want to enter into the video game industry, students, people that are just starting to learn all of this wonderful world? What can we do? How can we get to a point of landing a great job like the one you have?
First of all, look for jobs. Go to your favorite studio. Go to the job posting of your favorite studio. Most of the studios have a web page, like you can Google it and look for the job positions. Most of the time they have open job positions or just job positions, and look for what they are looking for. And after that, you just check the checklist and say, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that, I cannot do that, I can do that, I can do that. Okay, I need to learn this. And then that's what you learn. And that's what you develop. And you keep developing skills. Never, ever, ever keep yourself in the level which you are right now. You need to develop your skills progressively day by day. So first of all, it's like look for the job that you want and apply. Just apply. It doesn't matter. Just apply. And after that, you will start to get noticed by the studios, and you will be in the database. And if you are in the database, at some point they're going to say, "Hey, you sent us some stuff a while ago. Let me check what you sent us that time and what you're sending us right now. Oh wow, there's some growth in here. So yeah, we're going to give it a try." So just keep on asking and keep on trying and keep on developing your skills. That's what I would recommend.
Thank you very much. We also have, guys, anyone have a quick question before we finish? Go ahead, go ahead.
Do you have any social network where we can see your work or creations?
Right now, because I'm a full-time developer, I have an art station. I will link it to you. But to be honest, it's a letdown right now because I haven't uploaded anything since 2018, I believe. It's I don't have that many stuff. I'm trying to keep it up. So maybe at some point, I don't know. I will have this. I will give my art station a revamp, and after that, maybe I'll open an Instagram or something like that. I don't know. But this, sorry, I sent it on a.
I'll send it to the guys.
Okay, got it. I sent it to everyone. So this is my art station. It's really old, but you can see me there. And when I have the time, between being a full-time developer and a father and a husband, it's been a little bit harder. But when I have the time, I will open more stuff, and then I'll send it to Kat, and then Kat will send it to you, and you will get to see it. But so far, this is my only portfolio page that I have right now. It's really old, but you can get the idea.
Okay, don't worry. Thanks.
Another question I would do is, do you recommend putting our art creations, tutorial video games, anything we're creating
Yes.
out?
Yes, you need to get noticed. And how are you going to get noticed if you don't know anything? But you need to do two different steps. Like you need to have like the portfolio piece. Like for example, if you want to be an illustrator, or you want to be a 3D modeler, or you want to be a character designer, you need to create a profile just for character design, just for the thing that you want to do. And then you get another profile, which is the social profile, in which you upload anything you want. You can upload memes, you can upload work in progress, you can upload drawings, you can upload videos, you can upload anything. But by that way, you can have both online presence and professional presence. That's the thing that you need to pursue if you want to do 3D stuff or you want to be in the industry.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Adam is saying that he loves your lizard.
The lizard in
Yeah.
You got some project I did for BFS.
Well, we have time for one last question. Anyone?
No, thank you.
No.
Theo, anything you would like to say to kids?
Well, I will say continue doing what you do. And I'm pretty sure you are great at it. It was a pleasure having to meet you guys, having to hear your questions. And if anything, you can ask, like one of the things that I could recommend, and I can't recommend enough, it's do a LinkedIn profile. It's like a Facebook, but professional. And you get to upload cool stuff, and you get to meet cool people. And if you do your research, you can get to connect with the HR department of the studio that you want to do. And the worst thing that can happen is that they don't answer the request, but you have the contact and you got the name. And when you do your curriculum, or you do your cover letter, or you do your request for a position, you get to direct the message instead of to whom it may concern. It is better always to have a name to answer to instead of, well, let's see what happens. So do a LinkedIn profile. It's good.
Excellent, Theo. Thank you very, very much. It's been actually very enlightening for everyone.
I'm glad I could help.
So hopefully
Much interesting.
you'll be meeting some of the guys at Canada at some point.
Yes, that would be lovely because right now I'm the only Mexican in Ubisoft Quebec.
Let me know if they need an audio programmer. Then we would be too.
We're almost at the point of doing two new games, two new IPs here in Ubisoft. I will let you know. Of course, I will.
Excellent, excellent. That way you wouldn't have to suffer being the only one speaking Spanish the whole time.
Of course.
So thank you very much. Edson, of course, wants to know spoilers from the Star Wars game, but we know that you cannot say anything about it, even if you had any information about it.
No, I can't. My job depends on it. I would love to tell you the cool technology that we are developing, but it's impossible for me to say right now.
Yeah,
You will have to see it when the game releases.
yeah, that is one of the bad parts about working in a big company, not being able to disclose anything. But okay, Theo, thank you very much. I know you have to go, so have an excellent day.
It was a lovely hour. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the confidence that you gave me, and I hope I got to answer most of the questions, and the answers were pleasing.
So thank you very much. Please send love to your family. Big kiss to Pia, please.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. See you later.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
Ok, chicos, sé que tuvimos que quitar varias preguntas porque, pues,
Es lo que vi.
se nos fue el tiempo
Ah,
rapidísimo.
Estaba muy interesante, la verdad.
Pero fue muy interesante, de hecho.
Sí, demasiado.
Sí.
¿Qué aprendieron? Cuéntame.
Que te evalúan como persona y no como, bueno, sí, pero como lo que haces, pero primero como persona. Nada, o sea, sí, pero está interesante como yo he tenido varios trabajos, no de esto, pero jamás había visto como esa clase de, como de trato, esa clase como de la forma de evaluarte a ti. Entonces se me hizo muy interesante. A mí, de verdad, eso me intrigó demasiado.
Digo, no es un camino tan largo y duro como, o sea, ¿cuántos años creen que tiene Teo, por favor?
28.
¿Cuántos qué? ¿Años?
¿Años creen que tiene Teo?
24.
Ah, bueno,
Yo como 26.
Tampoco.
Como unos 30 más o menos.
30.
Ajá, sí. Anda en ese aprox. Entonces tampoco es así como un imposible de nunca se va a lograr y es un arduo camino. O sea,
De hecho, como que, bueno, no sé si a los demás les pasó que se te iban ocurriendo como más preguntas
sí.
que eran interesantes.
Sí, pero creo que contestó al menos las más importantes quedaron resueltas, como las que más nos pegan a nosotros.
Ajá.
Quedaron resueltas. Ahora,
Sí,
¿cuál
también lo
va
de
a
las
ser?
calificaciones.
Sí. O sea, sí son
No hay tarea, no hay tarea, no hay tarea.
importantes, pero no tienes, o sea, que hacer como el cerebrito, porque lo que necesitas es las habilidades y habilidades en los proyectos.
Sí.
Chicos, no tengan miedo a experimentar. O sea, pónganse a crear, pónganse a programar. No estás en un proyecto, pues ponte a programar nada más porque sí, o quieres hacer arte, dices, ¿sabes qué? Agarro de los tutoriales de Unity y en vez de hacerlo con el arte que viene en el tutorial, lo voy a hacer con mi arte, ¿no? O esto me gustó, hago video de esa textura que hice o de ese tutorial que estoy haciendo y lo subo, porque se tienen que dar a conocer, tienen que mostrar lo que pueden hacer. Y a veces, no entiendo, estamos ya tan especializados en diferentes áreas que sin el apoyo de otra área sientes que no puedes sacar adelante un proyecto.
Sí, también mencionó que nos como actualizáramos, ¿no?
Siempre.
También.
Hay que ver la empresa también, cualquiera de las empresas, es que tienen esas ganas de... que tienes ganas de aprender, que tienes una buena curva de aprendizaje. O sea, no vas a llegar sabiéndolo todo. Tienes que estar dispuesto a quererlo saber todo. Y sí, Rodri, es tiempo de cambiar la forma de pensar completamente. Y también,
Creo que es donde perdí un poquito el hilo. Ya no sé si de entender que también viéramos no solo en México, sino pensábamos en el extranjero. No entendí bien esa parte.
Es que es
eso,
mejor las oportunidades en el extranjero para este tipo de negocios. Porque creo que está hablando de lo de cuando estábamos, creo habló del chavo del 8, CAT, no
Sí,
me recuerdo. Entonces creo que ese sí fue por aquí, pero entonces de ese tipo de proyectos así hay aquí, pero mejores hay fuera de aquí.
sí.
Fuera de-
No, o sea, Teo es súper partidario de salir del país a buscar estar con las mejores compañías. Lo que sí dijo es busquen especializarse y ser lo mejor en su área. O sea, digan, yo soy bueno en esto y vuélvete el mejor de los mejores. Porque como
Ok.
compañía lo que haces es primero buscas el talento local, luego nacional, y si no encuentras en nacional lo buscas a nivel internacional. Entonces, si luego te termina gustando algo que se ve como, por ejemplo, lo que él hace, que es agregar esos detalles ya súper finos a las texturas, que ponerle ya todos los efectos y todo. Es algo muy especializado y que mucha gente dice, ay, qué flojera, ¿no?
Sí.
A él le encanta. A él le encanta y eso lo hace único.
No, aparte me imagino, o sea, literal cumplió su sueño, es como el sueño me imagino, de muchos.
Todos. Ajá.
Entonces, al ser, o sea, literal te despiertas todos los días y vas a trabajar a una de las mejores compañías de
Ujú.
tu rubro y debe ser
O sea, ya de ahí a
súper
dónde más
chido.
creces.
Sí, exacto.
Pero él también había dicho que no, sí, no me recuerdo, él también había dicho que no es como, am, que no es nada más como quedarse con los cruzados, sino que es darle, porque pues sí se puede, ¿no? Y es como que,
Claro. O
si
sea, se
te
puede
quedas-
ir la lucha y se puede
Ujú.
ir. O sea, no es el único caso que he sabido de mexes yéndose a compañías grandes. Hay muchísimos casos y cada vez más. Entonces,
¿Cuánto si era el único en Ubisoft?
en Ubisoft sí es el único mex ahorita.
Ok.
Pero Ubisoft no es la única empresa grande.
Allá le
Sí,
voy.
sí, sí.
Entonces, pues estén ustedes el decir, bueno, yo voy a ser el segundo, yo voy a ser el tercero, vámonos todos, ¿no?
Ya.
Sí, qué chido.
Y pues están en buen tiempo para irse preparando, para ir armando todo. Ahora, back to English class. What are we gonna do with the interview? Van a tomar notas de la entrevista
Ujú.
y en un rato ya les queda el video arriba para que puedan también recapitular algunos momentos y hacer como sus notas. Vayan subiendo sus notas también a sus carpetas.
Ajá.
El miércoles vamos a ver cómo hacer un feature story, como si fuéramos reporteros, ¿no? Ya tenemos la entrevista, ahora cómo la escribimos. Y la mitad de la calificación del examen, o sea, un 20% de su calificación, va a ser ese escrito en base a la entrevista. Pero hoy empiezan a juntar sus notas y que fue como lo más importante para ustedes.
Ah, ok.
Entonces, hoy es hacer las notas. Miércoles vamos a estudiar cómo hacer el escrito y a partir del miércoles empezamos a escribir.
O sea, solo las notas así como ideas vagas, por decirlo así. Ok.
Sí. Y se ganaron el poder salir unos minutitos antes, chicos. La verdad, hicieron muy buen trabajo. Y creo
No,
que están así como pensando en
súper
muchísimas
chido.
cosas ahorita.
Sí.
Entonces,
Sí.
Estoy
vayan a
emocionado.
aterrizar las ideas, porque sí, los veo todos con cara de... "Ah". Mucha información, muy emocionado, pero ¿qué hago ahora?
Ujú.
Sí,
Esto ya me puse a dibujar.
chido.
Háganlo.
Ajá.